Waiting for them boys outside. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? I probably should wear a hat. Uh, Hope all is well. Hope everybody doing good. Welcome in, welcome in. Let's go ahead and get started with the live. Um, Normally I just give subjects and we talk about specific stuff, but I'm gonna give us some talking points and then we just kind of go like wild style. You know what I mean? Because that's what I like to do. Uh, Everybody probably either going to work, getting off work, or chilling, not being at work. It just depends, man. I'm not gonna say I miss working. I do miss the consistency, and I do miss hanging out with like the social circles that come with work. But as far as like doing the same thing every day for 8 hours a day with the commute, nah, that ain't it. I'm done with that, right? So, yeah, but it's all good. Come in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We can go ahead and get started. Streaming live on all social media platforms, um, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Which Twitch is weird. It's like a weird platform to me. Like I stream live over there. I don't see how like all these other guys are big over there. Maybe because they've been doing it so long. But every time I stream over there, I get like one person, and then it'd be like the same one person. I don't know. Maybe I need to work on like the metrics and look at something different because I don't know how it works. But if someone want to DM me how Twitch works, please, I would love to get the info. But welcome in everybody. Let's get some shout outs. Where y'all checking in from? Where are y'all residing? Where do you stay? Not your house. Yeah. Yeah, I know Twitch is for gamers, but you got people like Kai, you got people like Aiden. Those guys are always streaming live. All right, so we're getting some people in here. All right, so Miami in the house. I see you. Dallas, Houston, Florida. What part of Florida? You don't have to say specifically. I don't need your address. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna come come to your house. I mean, I ain't got that kind of time. Pittsburgh, PA, California, Hines City, Dallas, Houston, Miami, Fort Pierce. I don't even know what that is, so you ain't got to work on me anyways. So what's crazy? I was Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh. I'm gonna kind of put you on a little game, Mr. Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna um, talk too much about it, but Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't see a lot of city. I see a lot of cities that's. So okay, so let's talk about real estate for a little bit, right? And I'm gonna kind of put y'all on some game, and I want to kind of educate y'all on how a lot of this stuff works. So whenever you're in a city, all cities are conducive to certain things. You can't do certain things in certain cities because the population, the rent rates, the cost of living, and that kind of stuff like that, it makes it hard to do certain things. You know, if I wanted to start a real estate empire, I wouldn't be in San Francisco because San Francisco houses a 3 bedroom, half bath, 800 square feet is $900,000. It's just, you can't build an empire on $900,000 houses. It's just not going to work. And then there's in California, they are not rent friendly. I know people, or I've seen stories where people will rent out their house to people and then they'll not pay their rent and then they got squatters' rights and they ain't got to move out for 6 months. So whenever it comes to certain cities and certain states, it's either conducive or not conducive to work in those or invest in those areas. So the same thing that could be said when it comes to owning a business. Certain states, they're easier to own businesses because the cost of living is cheaper. So the cost of goods sold is typically cheaper too. And when cost of living is cheaper, typically um, the people in that economy or that region generally have more accessible cash. I mean, if I'm in Washington State, people in Washington State have to have more money to live in those areas. They don't have as much accessible cash than someone in, let's say, Ohio or somebody in North Carolina, because the cost of living in those areas are lower. They might not make as much, but what would you rather have? Would you rather have people making decent money and everything's expensive, or people making okay money and everything's cheap? You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way I like to see things. You can disagree with me or not. I mean, that's why we're here. I like to talk about certain things, but whenever you're looking at those type of opportunities, you need to factor in where you live as you need to factor in where you live as a type of catalyst or the type of beacon of what you want to do. Like for example, so let's say you live in what's a really expensive place, Washington State, right? Or Washington D.C. is a really expensive place to live, right? So it'll be harder for you to get into real estate in those areas. So you will probably have to look outside those areas. You know, some parts of like New Jersey, some parts of Philadelphia, um, or Pittsburgh. Those type of areas are better and more conducive for real estate. Now, if you want to get into business, Washington D.C. would be a good place for business because a lot of people commute to that area, do their due diligence, and then they probably bounce out of the area. A lot of people probably don't live in the city. It's like a commuter city. So if you have anything that people can grab food and go, those, you know what I mean? Those type of things you need to start thinking about. So I mean, if you want to comment your city, I can kind of give you a quick synopsis or a quick overview of what you can and can't do. And also, you got to also take consideration too that you don't have to live where you don't have to live where you do business. I mean, I've bought and sold hundreds of properties, and own tons of businesses nowhere near where I live because those areas where I lived at those specific times was not conducive towards those areas. And it's okay. You don't have to live near your investments as long as you have a team or a system in place to take care of those things. I got an apartment complex, and one of the tenants, oh man, I wish you could see the photos. I might put them online later. The individuals that lived in this place, like the toilet had no lid. It was like plaster falling off the wall. The kitchen cabinets was falling off. It was like a bug infestation, and I'm just like, who the hell lives here? And I'm talking to my one of my property managers, and she was just like, this is horrible. I said, well, go ahead and give me a quote. I got a buddy in that area named Carlos. Carlos fixes pretty much everything in that area. Latino dude, a little older, man. That dude had that whole place spick and span in a week. I sent Carlos over there, and I'm thinking this thing going to be damn near $10, $12, $15,000. He came with a quote of $4,500, and I said, shit, yes, do it. Like I almost was like, wow, thanks. And he was like, oh yeah, your screen porch is messed up too. I'll fix that too for an extra $250. I said, deal. You know what I mean? Because I have a team in place, I have systems in place, and I know Carlos gonna have that place spick and span, rent ready. What was crazy part about it is I was under renting that place out because I knew it was a crapshoot. I was only getting $600 a month in rent. Now when Carlos does his magic, I'm gonna raise the rent to about $1,200. So now, you know, after 6 months, I got all my money out the deal, and I'm right back on top. I mean, and that's the game, people. That's how we do it. You have to look at these things as an investment. You don't look at this stuff personally. I don't give a damn if someone trashes a place. I don't care, right? I'm getting mine as soon as you leave. Oh man, I'm getting my deposit back, and I'm leaving. I ain't paying nothing. Cool. All right, fine. Take it easy, right? If that's the type of person you want to be, I don't care. But when you leave here, I'm gonna raise the rent. 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50%. And I'm going to get my whatever I lost on you, I'm going to get from the next guy. Lost and found. I do not care, people. This is not a game, you know? So just letting you know, you can start investing and doing deals in areas that aren't where you live. But if you want to talk about places, I'll go ahead and give you stuff. Someone said, I salute you. I appreciate you. I see you. I see you a lot on social media too. I appreciate you. Someone said Shreveport, Louisiana. Now I hate to tell some of the games, some of the real game, but I'm gonna put you on some games, Mr. Shreveport. Shreveport, Louisiana is one of, in my personal opinion, one of the best places to do real estate. Think about it like this: 50 cents, which I don't really speak on like celebrities and their business savvy and stuff like that. I don't idolize. I idolize no man and I fear God. You know what I mean? So, but everybody knows who 50 Cent is. So 50 Cent is a businessman, an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call him. He is buying up a lot of commercial real estate in Shreveport. And he wants to open up like studios and music facilities because the real estate there is super cheap. One thing about Shreveport is the rent rates are going up, but the property values aren't going up. And Section 8 is actually going up too. So Section 8 vouchers are going up because the cost of living is going up all around the United States. So Section 8 tenants are actually giving more money for their place to live. The home values really aren't increasing, so you can buy cheaper homes in those areas. So you just got to know where to buy them at. And I actually got some boots on the ground in that area who I was going over some of this stuff with, and we're gonna get some stuff. We're gonna get some motion in that area. But you know, I don't like to tell all my business, but hey, a lot of people. I'm gonna put you on some statistics. I can, if it's 100 people in this live between Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. If I told 100 people in here, this is what you need to do to be rich, I can say it verbatim to the point. Only 3% of those people will execute it. So it ain't even the fact that what I'm saying is legitimate or not. People don't put in the work. You know, I had a consultation with a guy and I was telling him exactly what to do, or I've had consultations with people and I'll say, yo, do this. Specifically, go to this site, click on this button, sign up for this, go here, register here, do this, do that, do this. Talk to the people 3 months later. Hey, man, I gave you 10 things to do. How much of it did you do? Well, man, I've been busy. See? I mean, and then the bad part about it is that statistic goes up once you pay for the information. So your percentage goes up from 3% to 9.5%. I'll round it up to 10%. 10% of the people take action when they pay for information. And that would, you would think that would be even more. So I could be in here. Someone said, true, that's interesting. Yeah, man. I ain't gotta lie about the numbers. I just know the statistics. I mean, I can sit on here, I can literally tell if someone asks me something super specific, I literally can tell you verbatim how to do it, and one person, maybe 2 people will do it. So it ain't even the fact that what I say is true or not. It's just people just don't take action. People are scared. People are afraid. People are afraid. You know, people see their lives as like a fragmented state. They almost see it as like the edge of the cliff. It's almost like if you took some kind of action and it didn't work out, you just completely fall off the cliff. Like say you have a decent home, you have a decent car, you have a decent job, you have a decent education, and you take one financial wrong step, your car's gone, your house gone, your damn job is gone, your education's gone, you're living on the street, you're homeless, you're poor, you're broke. And I've never understood why people see it like that. You know, why do people see it as all or nothing? Why do people see money as I'm either going to hit multi-million dollars or I'm gonna be homeless. No, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Think of a skyscraper, you know, and there's 100 stories on the skyscraper. There's no elevator, there's no escalator. You start on the first story and you climb up these damn steps. You're gonna climb up to level 2, and then level 3, and then level 4. And then you're gonna see a shit ton of people on level 4. First, you're gonna see a shit ton of people on level 1 or floor 1. Just gonna be a crap ton of people. People are gonna be just a lot of people just gonna be looking at the door. A crap ton of people just gonna be looking at the door when it comes to this money thing or finances or credit or businesses or real estate or investing. They're just gonna be looking at the door wide open. Nothing preventing you from going through the door. You're just sitting there. And then you're like, fuck it, I'll go in the door. And then it's just a lot of people just standing on the steps. And you're just like, okay, move the fuck out of the way. I'm trying to go up these stairs. And then someone on the steps say, yo, man, I've been on these steps for about 2 months, man. I'm tired. This is rough. You're like, well, it's hard on you. Doesn't mean it's hard for me. I'm going up the steps. And all along the way, every step you take, going up to the next floor, somebody there complaining about it. This was hard. I thought it was going to be easier than this. I don't like this. I couldn't do it. You can't do it either. But this is what's crazy. The higher floors you go, there's less people talking shit. You know, I'm going to tell you something that's crazy is really, really successful people and really, really rich people are almost encouraging people to get to the next journey, to get to that next level. Why do you think so many people who are successful talk about like motivation? Right? You can Google Steve Harvey, you can Google Shaquille O'Neal, you can Google Jeff Bezos, you can Google Elon Musk, and they all talk about the same shit. Or even me, because I want to encourage you to get to where I am because I've done it. Because I had the doubters, I've had the naysayers. I was on the first floor at one time. I just kept going up the steps, and I didn't give a shit what nobody on any floor told me. I'm going to the 100th floor. You can shut the hell up and come with me, or you just stand on the steps and complain the whole time. And then the higher I got, I started meeting. Now I'm on floor like 6, 7, 8. Then I started meeting people. Hey, man, you going to the 100th floor? Yep. Shit, me too. All right, let's go. All right. How's your day? I'm doing great. How's yours? I'm good. And you just keep going up. You keep putting in the work. I don't give a shit how tired you are. My legs hurt. I got a headache. I'm tired. I want to go to a cookout. I want to sleep in. No. I got shit to do. I got shit to do. Right? Someone said, business credit changed my life. Now I run a brokerage doing multiple 6 figures a year, folks. Gotta listen. Hey, motivation from a successful person. Wow, go figure. He's working his way up the ladder or up the floors. And he's saying it to y'all. Y'all gotta listen. He's screaming from the top, just like me. Y'all gotta do it, man. All you gotta do is do it. I know it sounds kind of corny. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but you know, I see it all the time. I'll give you a great example of a mentee or a student of mine. It was this female, and she came to me and was like, yo, Mr. Rich, I want to buy this particular business. I want to buy this particular business. I ain't got no money. How's your credit? Credit good. Cool. Let's set up you some business funding and some business lines of credit. Let's see some get some motion, right? So that took about 2 or 3 months. She got some motion. The motion was, I think she got like $50,000 worth of business credit. $50,000 worth of business credit. She was looking and looking and looking. She found a business for sale by owner. And it was it was like a health spa, but it was like they did like but bikini waxes. Not, it wasn't bikini waxes. It was like eyebrows and facials and that kind of crap like that. I don't really remember, but I know it was something like some kind of beauty spa or something like that. I don't know. And she couldn't find the information to the woman. So we looked up the business. We found the woman's information. We contacted her on Facebook and we started negotiating the business on Facebook. The woman said that she wanted, I forgot what she said. Man, I don't even remember what the hell it was. It wasn't even expensive. I think it was like $100,000. The woman said she will finance the business. The woman said she will finance the business. She just needed to put $20,000 down. I said, well, shit, you already have $40,000, $50,000 worth of line of credit or something like that. Just use the line of credit to fund the down payment. And it was bringing in a crap ton of money. I want to say this bad boy was bringing in about a $140 a year or something. It was nuts. I don't remember how much it was. It was a lot of money. It was bringing in to the owner. So I said, well, shit, if you can just pay her, $30,000 a year, you're still positive $100,000. She said, yeah, that sounds like a deal. I said, okay, let's go. Let's do it. She said, let me talk to the owner one more time. I was like, okay, cool. Here's your contact information. Then like a week later or something like that, I just happened to message her because I was just curious. Hey, did you contact that person? No, man, I'm just thinking it over. I'm trying to weigh my options. I was like, what the kind of options you need to weigh? What options are there to weigh? There's a business for sale for $120,000 or whatever the hell it was. She wants $20,000 down. You got the line of credit. She's going to owner finance you. You pay her $30,000 out of the $140 it makes a year, or I'll say $40,000. I forgot what it was. I don't remember. It brought in $140 to you. Your debt servicing is $35,000 or something like that. You'll still be making $105. Even if you just took it for 1 year and paid off all the debt, you're good. You're good. Man, let me think about it some more. I'm not sure. And I was like, where's this building in proximity to you? She said it was like 8 minutes from our house, which generally you're going to have to find when you're looking for businesses, you generally going to be looking for deals outside of your area. And I was just like, 7 minutes? And it was absentee because the woman who owned it lived 4 states over. The woman who owned it lived 4 states over. So she didn't have to be there. So I said, okay, I don't know what you're thinking about. I don't know what the hesitation is. I don't know what's going on. You need to hop on it. If you want to do this, you need to do it. Stop hesitating, right? I mean, I'm not trying to force your hand. But she was like, well, I'm just scared. I don't know what I'm really doing. I said, well, okay, well, talk to the owner and hire them as a consultant in the business, right? Have them on speakerphone or have a meeting with them at least once a week or every 2 weeks for like 15, 20, 30 minutes a day or that day to understand how the business works. Okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll look into it. Month later, hey, what happened? Man, I just didn't do it. I wasn't feeling it. All right, whatever. And then this is what's crazy part about it. This is where it makes me upset. It was like 3 months later, maybe 4 months later, she calls me or texts me and says, hey, I thought about it and I prayed about it and I think I'm ready to do it. I said, okay, why are you telling me? Message the girl. Like, I'm not even in this no more. I'm already done with it. I did my part, right? I got you the funding. I gave you the understanding. I broke down the numbers. I got in contact with the person that's selling it. What do you do? Damn, hold your hand down and make you sign the paper? I mean, there's nothing for me to do here. I'm not going to sit here and beg you to damn climb these stairs. You got to get to work, right? You got to take a damn chance. You got to take a leap of faith. And she messaged them and said, oh, man, she sold to someone else. Whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna keep looking at bye. Well, I'm gonna keep looking, and if I come up with something else, well, whatever, man. Sure. It's probably gonna be the same thing again. I don't got time. Right? When those opportunities come, man, you gotta hop on it, man. When those opportunities come, you have to hop on it. Opportunities generally like that don't present themselves a lot, and you have to be a decisive person. Indecisive people do not get ahead in life. They just don't. You have to take a chance, people. You got to put in the work, and you got to take some kind of gut feeling or inclination or something and just go with it. Because if you don't, it ain't gonna work out. Right? Every time I buy a house, I'm kind of scared. Every time I buy a business, I'm kind of scared. Every time I got business lines of credit, I'm kind of scared. Anytime I do a flip or a renovation or a wholesale deal, I'm a little scared, but I do it. And if I get dealt with, I get dealt with. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna talk harp too much on this, but I mean, think about like risk, right? You have run a risk when you drive a car. You know how many people get into accidents every day? I'm not wishing ill on none of y'all. I'm not trying to talk trash to y'all, but people get into accidents every day. So either one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to drive the car and take a chance or risk on getting into an accident, or you're going to walk everywhere. Your choice. Your choice. Now, if you choose to take a risk on driving, you need to take a risk on some other stuff too. Hell, I know people who don't, this is what's so crazy about a lot of this stuff too. I know people who don't fly. I know people who are terrified of flying. What sense does that make? You have a worse statistic of a car crash than a plane, but you're scared of cars. I mean, you're scared of planes. Shit, statistically, you should be scared of cars. Cars are way worse than damn planes. Way worse. Way 100 times worse. I could almost name 5 other modes of transportation that's worse than damn planes. Motorcycles are worse than planes. Bicycles are worse than planes. Skateboards are worse. You are more likely to be injured roller skating than you are in a plane. Think about that. You are more statistically more prone to be injured in a roller skating rink than you are on a plane. But people are afraid of planes. People aren't afraid of roller skating. Roller skates? Really? Bicycles. You know how many people get into bike wrecks and get hurt or either get injured or life-threatening injuries on a bicycle because they didn't have the proper safety gear? We'll talk about that. You know the odds of you getting into a wreck and not having a seatbelt on, how much riskier you are? Well, why do you wear a seatbelt? Because you never know what's going to happen. That's the same thing when it comes to investing. That's the same thing when it comes to buying a business. That's the same thing when it comes to leveraging credit. That's the same thing when it comes to investing. The seatbelt is your education. You have to educate yourself on these things to prevent yourself from getting hurt or something bad happening. You got to study instead of just jumping straight in, right? That's why you go get a license when you drive a car, because you have to learn how to drive. You know, when you get on a bike, that's why you get training wheels and you wear helmets and shin guards and elbow pads, even though nobody wears that stuff. You have to educate yourself. And that's where I come in. Ding, right? I help people and educate them on things that actually work and things that don't work and things that I've seen people do and things that I've done and things that work for me and things that haven't worked for me, right? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the know all be all, and I'm not gonna say not everything's gonna go perfectly because hell, I still take L's. You know, it happens. Just like I said, I had a person trash a unit one in my apartment complex. Somebody trashed one of my units. I thought it was going to be $15,000 worth of damage, but it ended up being like $4,500, $4,600 worth of damage. And a lot of people thinking, well, $4,600 is a large L. Well, you see $4,500. I see I was charging $550 for that place, and they was there. They was like grandfathered into that house or that property. They've been there for years, and I never raised the rent on their asses. But I was charging them $550. Now I could put a tenant in it, and I could charge them $1,100. So you see, man, I got to pay $4,500. I see I'm going to charge somebody an extra $650, $600 a month. After 10 months, I got all my money back out. Hell, in a year's time, I'm up $1,200. In 2 years' time, I'm up $8,000. And that's the difference. Some people see the cup half empty. Some people see the cup half full. You know, you got to start seeing the cup half full, people. Someone said, I'm listening. Oh, man. Someone said, too many people in my life. I'm broke and scared of leaving those behind. Leaving who behind? Right? I don't know. You know what that means? Leaving who behind? You're broke and you're scared to leave your family behind. If you're broke now, what kind of damn inheritance or anything you're gonna leave anybody? Nothing. You're just gonna leave somebody a problem. When you pass away, you know what's kind of crazy? I'm not trying to talk morbidly or anything, but when you're no longer here, someone has to take care of that. You know, either they're going to be upset that they had to deal with it, or they're going to be at least appreciative because you did some things to prevent them from dealing with a lot of crap. You know, I was just watching a video the other day, and it was showing like caskets and stuff. Some of these caskets are like $15,000. I was like, bro, I'm good. I'm going to Home Depot and building me a box. But you know, when I'm gone, my kids and the missus, if she's more likely she'll be around, they're gonna get an abundance of money, and they can do whatever they want to with it because I don't care. I don't need it. I can't do nothing with it. Just bury me in the backyard. I'm about to flame on this body, but I probably won't. I don't really want a. I don't know if I care about the casket. I almost want something to solidify that I was here. I don't give a damn if it's a bench or a statue or just something that's like, this guy was here. And right, just have like maybe like a QR code or something on it to where like they can just watch me just speaking for like 3 minutes and saying something positive. And I'll be happy with that. I mean, what else could you really want? You know what I mean? Because when you're gone, you're gone. You know what I mean? Oh man, back's hurting so bad. But I'm like I said, I'm streaming on all social media platforms. If you want to help me out, click on the link or go to YouTube, search The Rich Get Richard, and it helps me out a lot because over there I get paid to be on live, and here I don't. On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok, I get nothing. And somebody on Twitch, hey, whoever's on Twitch, say something, say what's up, because I always get you in here, man, but I never know who you are. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy that it's all. I have like 3 followers, and they always watch me. But I appreciate y'all being here, though. So, and for those who are interested too, I always got to do a shameless plug because that's just me. I see you, sir. I sent you a message too. Yeah, check your messages. That link still is not working. You know what I'm talking about. What do you think about TikTok Shop? Is it a good business? It can be. It's kind of saturated though, at least in my opinion. But I do know of and I have seen some people that make some decent money on it. But as long as you can get whatever money out of something that you put into it, yes, whatever money you put into it, you can get out of it. Right? That's the easiest way I see it. Like, let's say if you wanted to start a pressure washing business, or I'll even use a landscaping business, right? Let's say you go buy a lawnmower, let's say it's a couple $100. You buy a weed whacker, that's $100. You buy a leaf blower, that's $100. And you buy a gas can, that's a $50, and then you buy a trailer, and that's $400, right? Let's say you all in like a grand or something. As long as whenever you start cutting grass, I don't give a damn how long you cut grass. As long as you get your $1,000 out of it, then you're good. So if you're going to do anything like that, as long as you can get your money out of it, that's fine. Someone said, "What do you think about investing in a small nursing home?" Home services, assisted living facilities. I think those are going to be the next big trend. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna just start saying stuff, and then I'm gonna do it backwards though. Okay. Turo. No, no. Okay, I got you. Amazon, FBA, TikTok shops. All right. Let's take a trip backwards. Airbnbs. Let's keep going back. ETFs or NFTs. Crypto ish. Turo slash Airbnbs. And then the list goes on and on and on, right? Like, I think that we all go through a cycle of things that people try to make money on. I think my personal opinion, or I didn't even factor in the Lyfts or the Ubers or the DoorDash. I didn't factor that in either. That was back there too. Those are opportunities that people got in on and was making money, right? So, a lot of those areas over time got saturated. So if you try to get into Airbnb now, it's saturated. Amazon FBA saturated. Crypto kind of saturated. If you wanted to get into Airbnb or Turo hosting or any of that stuff, all that stuff's kind of saturated now. The market, to me, coming here soon is going to start leaning towards, I think, nursing homes and assisted living facilities, and converting, and something else that I feel like we're going to be leaning towards is also I have a buddy that's doing this right now, and he's killing it. And we ain't there yet, but it will happen. Mark my words. And it's one of three trends that you probably didn't even heard of, but this is where the market is going. It's joint family living and joint housing and shared living facilities. Okay, now call it, mark, take a picture, write this down. You can do with this information as you want. Housing is becoming too not affordable enough. I mean, it's becoming too expensive. So what these people are doing is they are, one, they're building houses, and they're making the houses designed for two families. So I want you to think about what I'm saying. Not a duplex. No, 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 no. Like, think of your house, or think of, like, if you know somebody with a bigger house, they'll have like stairs and a downstairs. And the upstairs is for one family, and the downstairs is for another family, and they share the garage space and they share the living quarters, but they have their own like separate spaces, right? And then also too is what they're doing is they're converting. A lot of people are talking about. A lot of people are doing this. They're converting houses into multi-unit houses, multi-living facilities. So they'll take a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and they'll take it and make it like a 8-bedroom, 3-bath. Almost like a college style. So you stay in your little room. There's a common area, and there's a common kitchen, but everybody stays in their room, almost like a dormitory. And then if you think about it, so let's think about it. Let's say if rent downtown Houston for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath is 15 hondos. Okay. If I can live with 8 other roommates, I can pay $700. But $700 for 8 roommates, 8 times 7, that's $5,600. So I can take a house that my mortgage is $3,000 and I convert it to a house that rents out rooms. Now I'm charging $700 per room. I have 8 rooms with common areas. Now I can make $5,600 off a house that I could only rent for $2,500 to $3,000. You see what I'm saying? Now, and then also assisted living facilities and or nursing homes. You take a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house and you convert it to a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. You convert all the showers and stuff to make them step in, and then you hire somebody to like live there the whole time, and now you're charging the state $5,000 a person. You got 5 people in there, you're making $25,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? And your employees ain't gonna be no $25,000 a month. Your rent and your mortgage ain't gonna be $25,000. You might pay a couple employees 10. You might pay $5,000 in food and living expenses. You made $10,000 just from converting a house to an assisted living facility or a nursing home. This is where the money is made, people, right? The people got on crypto early. People got on to Turo early. People that got on to Airbnb early. People got on to Lyft early. People got on to Uber early. This is the trend that I foresee happening. Okay, so do with that information you want. Like I said before, only 3% of the people are going to listen to what I say anyways. But this is where the game is, man. This is where the market is shifting. Now you can hop on it early and be ahead of the trend, or you can wait, a couple years from now and you be like, damn, I remember whenever Mr. Richard told me about this and I should have listened then, but I didn't do anything. And I said, well, what do you do, man? You got to get on it. But it's all good. But yeah, aging population. You know what's crazy is it's the aging population and life expectancy is crazy. Even if you go back to like the 80s, the life expectancy was like, what, 71? Now the motherfucking life expectancy is like 84 or something. People living like 15% longer than they supposed to. And the cost of living ain't going down. So now these people need to be taken care of in their later years, their golden years. What's crazy is I'm real big on like life expectancy and looking at the trend of people living at a certain age. And it's crazy, right? Because when I remember I was younger, man, I think the average life expectancy of Black men was like 60, I think it was like 64 or something. And then it went up to 67. I was like, hell yeah. Then it went to 68. Then it went up to 71. I think it's like 73 now. And hell, whenever I get 73, hell, it probably be down there 77, right? We are living longer because we have access to information, modern medicine, We understand health better. We understand putting all this crap in our body, and people want that longevity. We want that peace of mind, right? I'm gonna work out every day of my life until I can't work out no more, because I do not want to be carried around and taken care of in my 60s and 70s and stuff, right? I'm good, right? I always use this analogy to what I think about. What's happening? I see you. There was a guy who we used to go fishing with. His name was Mr. Tony, and Mr. Tony was like 82. He was skinny, but he had a gut, if that makes sense. And we would see him walk into our fishing hole every day, and he'd be up early, man. I mean, this dude would be up at like 4 in the morning fishing, and we'll be walking up the hill. We walk up the hill. It's like we weren't doing the hill, but it was walking up the way, and he'll be coming down. Um, and we'll see Mr. Tony. Hey, Mr. Tony, you caught anything? Yeah, man, I caught all the fish. You know, he loved catfish, man. It's a nasty fish though, but it is what it is. Catfish is actually good, but it's a bad fish. But we went up there. We go up there, catch fish, and then we'll come home. We'll scale it, cook it, skin it, get all the bones out of it. Man, I can't believe we see chicken bones like that. Oh, fish bones. That shit was nasty. But back in the day, I didn't realize what the hell was going on. And then one day, we see Mr. Tony walking up the hill, down the hill all the time. And then one day, um, we didn't see Mr. Tony no more. And they was like, "Yo, Mr. Tony died." I'm like, damn, what happened? He said, he just died. He had a heart attack. He just didn't wake up. I don't even know what happened. I just know he didn't wake up. And Mr. Tony was 82 years old. And Mr. Tony is almost like my role model when it comes to life. I want to die on my feet. I want to die doing something I love, and I want to have a good outlook on life. Because when I'm gone, I don't want to think like I don't want to be pushed around or catered to and that kind of stuff like that, man. You only get one body, right? I don't give a damn how much money you got. I don't give a damn how much. Um, I don't give a damn about any of that other stuff, right? If you only got one body, you got to take care of it. And we do have a bad habit of eating shit, and it's convenient, or it's cheaper, or we feel like it's cheaper. But you gotta hunker down that stuff, man. But yeah, someone asked how old I am. I don't know. Give a guess. Girl, you know it's true. Look, I got all my teeth. Uh, uh, got a decent body. I actually got a 6 pack. Don't let don't let these glasses fool you. Right? You kind of can see the guns. Right? It looked like this everywhere. You see the guns? It looked like that everywhere. All right, someone said 39, 43, 47, 35. Bless your heart. You've been working out? I work out every day. I try to. I try to work out Monday through Friday. I try to. But sometimes I'll be tired or I'm busy. But I'll give you a hint. I joined the military. I joined the military at 24, and I retired at my 21-year mark. So they kind of give you an idea how old I am. Someone said 43. Hey man, your math sucks. I'm not in the military anymore. I'm retired. I'm like retired. While I was in the military, if you don't know, I was buying up all these properties. I was literally buying up one property a month. And those properties was producing anywhere from $300 to $1,000 a month of cash flow. So 56, god dang, brother. I was buying up a property that was generating anywhere from $300 to $1,000 a month of cash flow. So every every yeah, I just buying up all this property, and after a while, I had so many properties that I didn't need to work no more. But I knew that one day I was going to retire from the military, so I could get out the military and not have insurance. So I did my time in the military, so I'll have insurance for the rest of my life. That's the only reason I stayed in, you know. But I was almost at my like 10-year mark, and I was making so much money. I was bringing in, I don't know, 40, $50,000 a month in cash flow, and I just was going through the military motions to get insurance because I didn't want to pay for it. Even though with $50,000 a month, I could have just not did anything. But I didn't care. I didn't want to pay for it. 46, so 47, 44, 45. Miss L, you probably close. You probably spot on. Yeah. Damn, how old am I? I'm 45, 46, 47 ish. I don't know. It's kind of weird. The older you get, you kind of forget that stuff. It's kind of dumb. Hold on, let me think. Damn, I don't even remember all that. I gotta look it up. I gotta do a math. I was born on a weird year, so it's like it throws me off. Yeah. How long I've been retired? Not long. Kobe age? What year was Kobe born? No, Kobe's. What year was Kobe born? Kobe is a little older than me. I remember him being in high school. Yeah, he's older than me. Kobe is about a year and a half, maybe 2 years older than me. So I remember it. He was in high school. He was dating Brandy when she was in high school, and I was mad at him because I had a crush on Brandy. Now I wouldn't touch Brandy with a 10-foot pole. It's kind of funny how that works, right? Yeah, he was dating her in 1995. Damn, you are old. How old are you? You must know it. You must you must be around about the same age because you know all of them, all the stuff that was happening. Bro, just let me someone was using your account. Yeah, all right, y'all. I'm gonna give a disclaimer. If anybody messages you, because this is what scammers do. They will go to my live, right? I'm gonna do a check real quick and see if I gotta block somebody. Scammers, what they'll do is they'll come into my live and they'll look at all the people in the live. 34, my G. So I thought that what they'll do is they'll go to my lives and look at the people in the comments, and they'll send you a message, and they'll have my profile pic, they'll have everything. So you got to look at the. I'm not gonna try to sell you no crypto. I'm not gonna do anything like that. All I do is, and this is why I do it. I offer a free webinar. Okay, a free webinar on Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST. That's all I offer. Because if you're in the webinar, I've talked about what products I have or what I'll talk about all the products. I have, if you want to get into like credit or you want to get into funding, if you want to get into buying a business, you want to get into real estate, you talk to me in person in the webinar. That's why I do it like that because I don't want people to, send random money to people on the internet, and there's a lot of impersonators out there. So if you're not physically talking to me about something that you want to get accomplished, then more than likely it's not me. It's actually it ain't me. So just let me know. So 9 p.m. EST Wednesday, and we can get it cracking. Right. So if you're in Cali, it'll be 6, 7, 8. If you're in Dallas, boo. And then East Coast, yeah. Someone said absentee owned. Yeah. So yeah, one thing that we specialize on, one thing I like to talk about is, and if y'all want to chime in and ask any questions as I go along, because sometimes I don't like to give motivational stuff and just talking randomly like that. I don't like doing that. I almost like engaging with people. It's just easier content for me. But one thing I like to do is I like to focus on the pillars, right? We talk about credit, building your credit profile, FICO score, credit score, Experian, Credit Karma, TransUnion, Equifax. I like to talk about business credit. You know, if you want to do the trade line thing, if you want to do Paydex scores, if you want to do Dun and Brad shit, which is trash, if you want to do the net 30s, net 60s, net 90s, right? We can focus on that. Um, and then we can also talk about another subcategory of business credit. We talk about uh, getting your business structure. I don't care if you want an LLC. I don't care if you want an S corp or a C corp. I don't care if you want a sole proprietorship, right? But when you have those things, what are you naming your company? Because some things like trucking and restaurant are horrible names. You need to start naming your stuff or start naming your business things that will get you business funding. Because once you use that business funding or that grant funding, you can use that money to fund whatever kind of deal you got, right? You get business funding. If you want to focus on real estate, use the business funding for that. I was talking to an individual, I think a couple of days ago, and he was talking about using, he owns a barbershop and he got funding for his barbershop, but he saw opportunity to buy his own shopping center to run his barbershop out of the shopping center. So now he used the funds from the business line of credit that I helped him get to buy a shopping center. In the shopping center, he puts his own thing in it. And then now he's making money off the shopping center and the barbershop. You know what I mean? So it's just a great way to start thinking outside the box, because once you have all four of the pillars either mastered or perfected or kind of got down, nothing financially will stop you. Nothing. You focus on your credit, then we're going to start focusing on investing. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, TSP, 401k, IRAs, Roth, traditional, individual stocks, collections of stocks, whatever. I don't give a shit, whatever you want to get into. Notes, bonds, securities, CDs, whatever. Once you focus on investing and figuring out the best avenues to invest in, those things will start making you more money than you probably can imagine. So whenever you start bringing in money from your job, or you start making money from your business, or you start making money from your real estate, you don't take that money and then just go buy rims and Escalades and Hellcats. No, that's done, right? Someone said thank you. Somebody just texted me about some crypto. Thank you. See, it ain't me. It's a fake account, man. Them damn scammers, boy, they be on it. So also, then we got to start focusing on um, ownership. I don't care if you own a laundromat. I don't care if you own a vending machine route. I don't care if you own ATMs. I don't care if you got cars on Turo. You got to work. You got to start having money that makes you money while you're sleeping. And when it comes to ownership, it's generally only four ways you can make money: educating somebody, selling something, providing a service, and it's one more I can't think off the top of my head. All right, but anyway, you get the gist. Once you've mastered those, or selling something, or any of all those spaces, owning something that pays you while you sleep, and is servicing one of those four things, because that's pretty much the only four ways you can make money in the world. That's not working, right? We're done with working. That's a slave's mentality. We're done with working. Okay, you got to start focusing on stuff that makes you money while you're sleeping. My stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, businesses, whatever. All of them make me money. My lines of credit, I use my lines of credit to buy more real estate. I use my lines of credit to buy businesses. I use my line of credit to fund whatever deal I got going on, right? And them deals are making me money as we speak. Right now, somebody's sending me some money. You know, it is what it is, right? Especially the first of the month. I mean, actually, it's really not the first. It's actually the 7th through the 9th. I get 5 figures deposited in my account every 7th of every month. And it's so bad that I don't even look at it no more. I don't even care. Right? My damn property managers could be ripping me off $10,000 a month each. I wouldn't even care. Right? I don't even look no more. Right? But that's how it is, though. You know, it is what it is, man. Every once in a while I go in there and check, and every once in a while I call a bluff too. I think I did it actually earlier this week. Something came up and I said, okay, cool. Show me this. And it was like, damn, all right, I got you. They showed it. I was like, okay, cool. It's like, normally you don't ask. I was like, yeah, I normally don't. But every once in a while, you know, there's checks and balances on all systems, you know. Generally, y'all been doing a good job for years, and I don't give a damn 99% of the time. But every once in a while, I got to check in on people and make sure they're doing their job. And if they don't, I let them go and I get somebody else to do it. You know, simple as it gets. So yeah, and then you need to start focusing on real estate. Brings up the next tier, right? Your own home, buying your own house, right? Even if you don't do anything else, buy your own house. Then you need to focus on buying more properties, duplexes, quadplexes, fourplexes, apartments, complexes, commercial land, farm area, farmland. I don't give a shit what it is, man. You got to focus on things that make you money, you know? And that's what we specialize here on the 4 pillars, which it is what it is. I'm going to preach that to the day I die. And it took me a while to even realize that was even a thing. But the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Everything's going to fall into a pillar. Everything financially falls into a pillar. Either you're investing in something, you're owning something that makes money, either it's credit based or it's an investment. Nothing else is out there. Nothing else is out there. All right. But got a question here. $300,000 pre-approved, FHA, you know, 3.5% down or $10,500 down. What do I do? What do I do? You find a house. Funds not enough for down payment. Oh, excuse me. Oh, what you're saying is you don't have enough money for the down payment. It's an FHA loan. So for those who don't know, whenever you're buying a house, you can do what's called an FHA loan. FHA means it's a first-time home buyers assistance program. That means they let you buy a house with 3.5% down. 3.5% is $10,500. So this individual says he needs that money to buy this house. So he needs that money. So you have a couple of options. One, which I would do them all. I would do every one of these options I'm about to say. One, I call it trimming the fat. Okay, you might not have the money, but you probably have the money. If that makes sense. It don't, but I got you. One thing, right? If you took half the crap in your house that you don't use anymore and sold it, you probably would have close to about $2,000 or $3,000 worth of shit, right? Right? Shoes, them Jordans that you idolize and worship, or the jewelry, the necklaces, the clothes, all that crap that's in the house, some parts, some furniture, maybe a TV that you don't use or something like that, just shake it. It doesn't provide you value. The home is the value. Stuff is not valuable. You know? Things don't provide you value. There's probably more money in your house than you probably could imagine. You could probably sell half that crap in your house and probably get a G within a week. I promise you, right? Then you got to do what's called trimming the fat. Trimming the fat is step back and realistically looking at your expenses, realistically, and saying to yourself, what's more important? A home that provides me and my family value that's going to be worth something one day, or this thing that you pay for every month. So I'm sure you probably got Netflix. I'm sure you got a Hulu or one of these. Hulu, Netflix, Spotify, YouTube Premium, Disney Plus, Paramount, um, Amazon Premium or some shit. All right, that's $100 a month. Just that, just those right there, $100. So why are you paying for all this shit? Because you want to watch Love Island and listen to music at the gym? What'd you do at the gym before you had Spotify Prime Plus or whatever that shit is? What'd you do before that? Download the shit to your download a song to your phone and just listen to the same 20, 30 songs over again? Okay. You're not, a lot of people just don't want to sacrifice their livelihood for a better life. You want to keep your amenities cool, but you don't want to put in and do the things to have those things. Okay? And then, like, if I asked everybody in the chat, how many times did you eat out this week? In the last 7 days. How many times did you eat out? 2, 3, 4? The average person, the average family of 4, spends $3.75 when they eat at home. The average family of 4 spends $21 when they eat out. So if you have a family of 4 and you ate out 4 times, this is 3rd grade math, people. $3.75 deducted from $21 is $18. 4 times a week is $55. $55 times a month is $220 just in eating out. There's your money right there. Just in eating out and cutting subscriptions, that's $400 a month. Just in that. 10 months, that's $4,500. You halfway there. What side hustle or what side gig are you doing? How many yards are you cutting? How many window washes you done? How many driveways you pressure washed? How many cars you detailed? How many couches you flipped? How many damn free cycling did you do? The money's there, people. You just got to do it. You got to put in the work. I can't give you $10,000. I wish I could, right? But you'll learn nothing from it, man. You will learn nothing from it. But I tell you what, you got your ass to work. You really wanted to, you could have $10,000. You could have $10,000 in 3 months if you really wanted to. I promise you. I don't even know what you make. I'll put it like this: you can give me your salary, and in 3 to 4 months, I would have that $10,000. Actually, less than that. Less than that. Yeah, there's your money right there. Well, cut the fat. All your subscriptions are eaten out. Don't be going out to the club, drinking and smoking. You got to cancel that shit. We done with that, man. You trying to buy a house or you trying to, then get you a side hustle or something like that make you the extra money. Save up the extra money. Right? And those just 3 ways. I just gave you that top of my head. Don't let me really sit down for more than 20 minutes and really give you some game because shit, that really hook you up then. But I tell you what, if you really wanted to fast forward the stuff, or even like garage flipping, garage sale flipping stuff, or even free cycling, garage sale flipping. Like I'm gonna put you on something, right? I'm gonna tell you. There's a guy. Okay, I have a community, and I told my community. Somebody asked a similar question, man. I need to save up money. I need to do this. I need to do that. And they came to me. So they said that, and I said, okay, cool. This is what we're going to do as a community. We're going to do a free cycling experiment, and I want everybody in here to see how much money they can raise. And whoever raised more money than me, I will cash up you $1,000. Okay, $1,000. 1 week. Only thing you got to do is take a picture of the item that you're going to flip and show the money in your account or show the money in your hand. That's all you got to do, right? Now, I did it just to show people that it could be done. I did it for 2 days. I didn't even take the whole week. 2 days. And I was at $900. 2 days, $900. I started the experiment on a Friday. Saturday morning, I got a 95-inch 3D TV for free, a treadmill, 2 couches, and a washer and dryer. All of it for free. I charged, the TV made me the most. I charged a $20, $30 delivery fee, a $50 delivery fee. Someone came and picked up everything else. The washer and dryer, someone picked up. The couches, someone came and picked up. And whatever else I had. The treadmill, someone came and picked up. I made $900. I started on Saturday. I was done by Monday. And I said, yo, I'm waiting on y'all. I'm going to stop doing this because no one in here is going to get over $900. And they weren't even close because they didn't really do it. Right? I could raise $900 in 2 days. Imagine if I did a month. A month? Shit. I'll be at $5,000. 2 months, I have a down payment on the house. I'll tell you that damn much. And all I did was drive neighborhoods at garage sales. I drove neighborhoods that had garage sales. And when the garage sales was over, I went and asked the people, hey, man, what are you going to do with this? You going to get rid of it? If you're going to get rid of it, I'll just take it from you right now so you don't have to sit it out on the side. $0 in, $900 out. Take them, clean them up, put them on Facebook Marketplace. And the bad part about it is I had like 5 or 6 other items, but I didn't even care. I was done. I got my $900. I almost felt bad taking the $900 because I didn't need the money. I was just doing it just to do it, just to show people that you can make money out here. Ooh, 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 I love you. I wish you would recommend something someone do with $10,000 if they were to come to such money and earn it. Okay. I'm gonna read that again. What would you recommend someone to do with $10,000 if there was to come to you into such money or earn it? I don't know what you're saying, but what would you recommend someone doing with $10,000? That's pretty much what you're saying, right? I would, first of all, 4 pillars, talk about all the time. I will focus on my credit, get my credit right, and then I would focus on working on my business structure and going out and raising capital from the banks and or investors. Someone said, yeah, someone texted me right now saying that they're me. Like I said before, y'all, if someone texts you talking about they selling crypto, don't do that. It ain't me. Yeah. Or you can put 10% down on a business, but You can put 10% down on a like a little cheap car wash or a cheap um, little donut shop or a little cheap coffee shop too if you wanted to go that route. I mean, you have options, man, but you got to learn the different options. That's why we learn. But if you want to learn more, click the link in the bio, join the free class. It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST. Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST. I haven't shared to broker yet, 90-day rule. I don't even know what that means. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm in love, girl. I'm so in love, girl. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We talking about that site? I'll send it to you. How that'll work? I'm lagging behind. Yeah, no. The chat is weird sometimes, man. Like I'm streaming on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different sites. Yeah, just message me. You don't say the firm. Just say something about credit cards. I know what you're talking about. But hey, just do this right now. Look, I got you. Give me a sec. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. You good? You good, 007? I could have sworn I showed you that before, though. Actually, I knew I showed you that before. You weren't paying attention. What can you tell me about starting an LLC? Yeah. So whenever you want to get into an LLC, yeah, it's not that hard. You just got whatever you want to do. So if you wanted to get into, depending on what type of business structure you want to get into. So if you there's multiple types. You can do LLC, limited liability company. You can do a S corp or C corp, or you can do a sole proprietorship, and you can do some joint venture stuff and some other stuff like that too. But for the most part, people always start with the LLC stuff because it's a little easier to set up and it's a little easier to navigate, at least in my opinion. But it just depends on your objective, what you want to do with the LLC. It's almost like I want to buy a vehicle. Okay, well, is the vehicle going back and forth to work, or do you want to use it to go mudding, or do you want to use it to haul equipment? You know, if you want to haul a trailer, you're not going to buy a Prius. And if you want to commute an hour and a half back and forth, you're not going to buy a Cummins 350 diesel, right? It's just not. It doesn't make sense. So I always like people to know exactly what they're getting into. Generally, whenever you get into an LLC, I always tell people if you're going for business funding, it's easier to just go ahead and do the LLC process because that's what more likely people want to get. So they're going to take that business, the LLC, and they're going to convert it into business credit, right? You get the LLC, and you get the EIN, and then you start structuring your business properly to go apply for loans to get business credit and business funding through the banks, right? Which one of those things I specialize in or that I'm pretty good at. I've raised millions of dollars worth of funds for myself and for other individuals. So just letting you know, I probably raised just for myself, probably not including the Centurion Black. The Centurion Black is unlimited. The Centurion Black card is an unlimited account. So I don't even factor that in. So I'm pretty much, they just told me anytime I spend over $500,000, I got to give them 24-hour notice. So 24-hour notice, and anything over like $5 million, I got to give them like 3-day notice. I'm like, who the fuck is dropping $5 million? You know, I guess just when you think you're good, you're really not, right? So yeah, so if you want to go raise capital from multiple different banks, Truist, Bank of America, Chase, American Express, Navy Federal, all these kind of banks, that's what generally people want to do with their LLC. And once you raise that capital, you can use that. You said you have a small family construction business. How much construction and supplies could you buy with an extra $75,000 worth of funding? You know, how many different bids and different contracts you can get with that $75,000 cash injection? A lot. Hell, with $75,000 worth of cash injection, you might can start even buying your own plots and start building your own houses. You'd be surprised at how many different properties and different vehicles and different avenues you can navigate once you start getting some money flowing in. You know, you can start getting into like foreclosures. You can go start buying tax liens and tax deeds, right? Let's say there's a tax deed right now in your city, and the house is abandoned and they owe $15,000 worth of tax liens, and it needs $20,000 worth of work, but the house would be worth 205, right? To get that $30,000 to fix it up, and to get the $15,000 for the tax lien, that's $45,000. But hell, if I just gave you $75,000 worth of line of credit, you can use the business lines of credit to fund that deal. Now you're up a property, you go cash out refi at 80% loan to value. You get a loan for 170, you pay back the line of credit, and now you're up $100,000. You don't pay debt on, you don't pay taxes on debt. Refi is debt free. So now you're up 100 grand. You got a property that you're renting out. You're making $200 to $300 to $400 in cash flow, and all you did was use business funding from some random black dude online. Some random black dude online that sounded like he know what the hell he was talking about. Go figure, right? That's one deal. I do 1 or 2 of them a month, right? Since 2008, 2007, really. 2008 when I started really getting serious though. But my first deal was like 2007. So just letting you know that this stuff is out here, people. The opportunities are out here. You just got to learn how to navigate through them. But if you want to learn more, click the link in the bio, join the free class. I have a free webinar coming up. Link in the bio. It's called Be Your Own Boss, or you go to therichgetricher.com or wherever the hell you want to go. And click the link, sign up. Like I said, I don't sell your information. If you want to come through and hang out and listen and learn and then bounce afterwards, you'll never hear from me again, right? I don't need to sell your information. I don't spam you or text blast. I don't give a dang about it. I have money before y'all, and I'll have money when I wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna have just as much money as I had before. I don't care about that, right? It's really not about, that. I never really been into that, and I never liked when people do that, just constantly bombard you with information. I do understand the metric of that people need to be nurtured, and you need to contact people multiple times before they want to engage with you. And I understand that stuff, but I feel like my stuff sells itself, right? I don't need to. If you're interested, you come through. If you're not, oh well, I don't care. It is what it is. All right. I told myself I need to quit doing that because more likely one day I'm gonna have to start doing it, but I'm not there yet. But I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate y'all learning and watching. But yeah, click the link in the bio, join the free class, come through, or just shoot me a DM. Right? I rarely get to my DMs. I probably check my DMs probably once a week, maybe. I'm just too busy. But If I get to you, I get to you. But I appreciate you. If you have any questions or some concerns, or just have anything, if I can answer it within like 1 to 2 sentences, I got you, right? But if it's something detailed, like I said, just come to the free class, ask the questions there, and I'll kind of try to get to you specifically so you can get a kind of better understanding of that stuff. Oh man. But appreciate you for hanging out. And let's get this money.